on crack. Riding life's roller coaster, never look back. Echoes of laughter like thunder, no slack. Jergunzza and not in sync, level stack.
Hello, it's me, your boy Jergunzza, and I'm doing this review a little bit late. I saw this movie Thursday night for the fan event, but then I was just too busy to record it since then. I'm free now, so this review is a little bit late. It's still the weekend of, so I think it counts still. Captain America, Brave New World. Now, I just want to say one thing. I have this thing, right, where I'm tired of buying popcorn buckets. I don't care how cool these popcorn buckets are anymore. I'm not buying them, right? I have too many of them to where I don't want to keep hoarding these things. But my God, I had to buy this. It's big. Like, the quality of it. You can go to Philadelphia fighting with this damn thing. Now, I don't even like popcorn, and so I don't really care for this little thing right here. See, I don't really care for that too much. I don't eat popcorn. But man, this is, we hanging this up. I gotta find a spot to hang this up at. Now, I just want to say, when I go see movies now, since I'm doing these reviews, I don't look at other people's reviews. I don't see other people's reactions. And I don't read articles about the reviews, right? I probably said that before, but I'm just letting you guys, I'm just reminding you guys in case if I haven't said that before. I saw posts here and there, though, about this movie, thumbnails, that people are disappointed in this movie, that the movie had it has a 54 rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes it the third worst Marvel movie out of the entire Marvel franchise. Basically, just people posting like pictures of the CGI looking terrible during the movie and shit like that. But nonetheless, I wanted to watch this with my own opinion and my own open mind. Now, before I give my opinion about this movie, I just want to say this. Anthony Mackie, you're never going to see this video more than likely, but I just want to say this. I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy. I am beyond stoked that you are in the spotlight now. You went from playing Tupac in the Notorious movie, from playing Clarence in the 8 Mile movie, getting roasted by Eminem. You know, you've done all these things. You went from that to being the poster boy of America, pretty much. You're Captain America, man. I'm happy for the dude's glow up. I've always thought he was a cool, chill, down to earth guy. Seems like he seems like a decent guy to know, man. And he appreciates his fans. And he owns his own movie business. You are doing well in life, and I'm happy to see that you're getting your roses in a big movie like this. Now, with all that said out the way, now I'm gonna just say this about the movie. So, people have been trashing it, right? And I said I'm gonna go in with my own open mind, right? Well, I liked it. Some of these reviews are the most dumbest things I've ever heard, and I hate to say it's a race thing going on because I hate using that term, but it's kind of hard for me not to think of that when I see people make posts like, oh, here's reasons why Black Captain America is failing. Just call it Captain America, bro. It's not Black Captain America. It's just Captain America. They said the CGI was terrible in the movie. The CGI was not terrible in the movie. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 scenes where I just did not like the CGI whatsoever. It was when he had the nanotech mask. Didn't really care for that. But that wasn't really much. And that wasn't in the movie that much at all. And there was another scene where they land on the boat and just the background, I don't know. It might just be me, but Marvel seems to have this problem where they have this very gigantic landscape of a background behind our main character. Sometimes it's not even that big. It's just, Deadpool, Wolverine. It was just a city bus, right? And the background just looks terrible. Like the most CGI'd background you could probably ever see. It happened in Deadpool, Wolverine. It happened in Spider-Man No Way Home. It happened in few other things, man. And I don't know, but they fix it while the movie's in theaters. But other than that, there was nothing in this movie CGI wise that I thought looked terrible. I thought Red Hulk looked great. I thought Captain America looked great. Anthony Mackie with the wings, I thought it all looked great. So the story of this film, of course, no spoilers. I will say there's probably some pacing issues here and there for some people. Me personally, I didn't have a pacing issue. The only issue I had was Gustavo from Breaking Bad, Giancarlo Esposito, I believe that's his name. I feel like his character was supposed to have more screen time in here than what was given. Something about his screen time in here just felt off about it. Like, I don't know. The villain, I'm not going to reveal who the main villain is. It's someone that we've met from the previous films. All I will say is that movie came out so long ago that most people will not remember who he is. But the villain in him in itself, I thought he was, in my opinion, a very interesting villain, a frightening villain. You see, when I watch these characters, how they get unfolded on screen, I'm watching them for the movie's perspective because I don't know nothing much about the comic book with some of these characters. The villain who is in this movie, I don't know much about his comic book origins, his whole thing and all that. Red Hulk, I've only heard and seen him a few times here and there. I knew he was General Ross, but I didn't really know much about, him. So I guess for me, I get to enjoy the movie and these characters for what is being presented to me in the movie. So I guess I'm able to enjoy it more than, say, a comic book nerd will. But I thought the villain was very interesting. He had the ability that this villain had is something that I have a big fear of. The abilities that he had, though, should have been utilized a little bit more if I had any complaints. He has this ability, and it is used pretty frequently through the movie, but I just feel like there are certain things he should have used it in different manners, so to say. Anthony Mackie, you did great as Captain America, man. I don't care. You see, the problem I think some people are having with this movie as well is that they can't get over the fact that this is not Steve Rogers anymore. It's Sam Wilson, a black man. I mean, the black part might not really matter too much. This movie is not as politically woke as some of you might think it is. There are some posts out there that's going crazy saying that this movie was clearly made under the impression that Kamala Harris was going to win. There was nothing in this movie that insinuated that it thought Kamala Harris was going to win. Nothing in this film. If anything, this movie more so insinuates if someone like Donald Trump was to win, which he did, but if they were just going about, it was about connection and unity, because Sam's character doesn't like General Ross, who's president now. He's the president of the United States, and Sam hates him. And a lot of people hate General Ross, yet he's president. And so there's like a group of people in Sam's ear saying like, why are you siding with him? Why are you trying to talk to him and do business with him when this dude is like this and he's a son of a bitch? And Sam was like, we can't get any better if we're not going to make some type of unity. You don't walk away and ignore the call and not do anything and think something's going to change. So honestly, I feel like this movie was leaning more towards like, as if Donald Trump was like this and if people were like this. I'm not trying to get to political. I'm not trying to get into that, right? I'm not trying to say who was right or wrong, if Donald Trump's a bad or good guy. That's not my place to say. It's an intriguing story we got with Sam going on, I feel as if, where he is trying to uphold this name that he feels like is way too much for him as a regular human being, because he doesn't take the super soldier serum. I think when the things that people complain about with Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson is he's completely different from what Steve Rogers is. Like, he talks different, he acts different, just in the way how he carries himself, the way how he motivates other people. It might not sound the same as Steve Rogers. Minor spoiler here, but in particular, there's a scene where Sam is hyping up Isaiah and the other dude, I can't remember his name, the new Falcon. and they're in a limo getting ready to go to a presidential party at the White House. And they're in a limo. They're all dressed up nice. They got the champagne. Anthony Mackie is like kind of like, yeah, kind of partying up with them a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I think it's scenes like that, right? It might seem small to some people, but I think it's scenes like that where Anthony Mackie, you're looking at him as Captain America, and people are putting him on this level of what he's supposed to be, this pedestal of what he's supposed to be, and they hate to see that this is a Captain America who likes to party with his friends, he acts like a young person. He acts like a younger person because they forget Steve Rogers came from the fucking 1940s, and Sam Wilson is a character from this timeline, from not this generation, but from this period, from this time period. They take stuff like that and they say he's not my Captain America because he's not like Steve Rogers. Whatever. There's a scene in there where Harrison Ford was talking to Anthony Mackie and he tells him, "Watch yourself. You might be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers." And there's this white guy in front of me like, yeah. I wanted to slap his dumb ass so damn badly. Fortunately, he was a third wheel there with two other couples because he just kept saying and doing stupid shit the entirety of the movie. And I was about to say something, but then the dude who was there with him, I heard him. He leaned over like, "I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up."
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
The action in this film, I feel like, is choreographed very amazingly. I've enjoyed the action in this film more than I have some of the action in some of the recent Marvel films. I'm not saying it's on par with Wolverine and Deadpool fighting on Deadpool and Wolverine, but I've said for the last couple years, the worst part about Marvel movies recently for me has been the last final battle scenes are not interesting at all. You look at a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I like that movie mostly because of the story with Rocket. Outside of that, there's not too much there that made me interested into it. I didn't care for the final battle scene. It wasn't nothing crazy spectacular in my opinion. Even the villain, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had a very intimidating villain, and just that final battle, I just felt kind of unsatisfied. But watching it more, I understand why James Gunn made the villain lose the way he did, because it's representation to his character and this idea he sets himself up to be, but he's actually not. Deadpool, Wolverine, I didn't like the final battle with all the Deadpools fighting each other and then how they defeated the villain. I just didn't like it. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that final battle was just way too CGI'd for me to enjoy it. And also just the process of getting to that fight scene, I felt like was not worth it, or it just wasn't satisfying in a certain I don't know. I thought the movie was good, but just that final battle, I did not like it at all. This is the first time in a good while that I've watched the MCU movie and I've enjoyed the final battle scene. There's also an action sequence where they're in the Indian Ocean around what is it called? The celestial thing. It was coming out of Earth from internals, and it's just there, and like the head and the head and the hand is just like sticking out of the ocean, right? Seeing that on the IMAX screen was beyond crazy, and just that battle sequence of them flying in the air, fighting those jets and whatnot, I felt like was a treat. It was almost like watching Top Gun Maverick for the first time once again. I'm not saying it's on the same level. I'm just saying I enjoyed it almost like as if it was. Also, another complaint I'm going to throw out there. My complaint is this. I stayed in that movie thinking that there was going to be one particular thing and it wasn't in there. It might be a small thing for some people, but I feel like it could have been in there. The actor who played General Ross, William Hurt, I believe his name is. William Hurt, who played General Ross in the previous films, he passed away, which is why Harrison Ford is playing General Ross. I feel like there should have been a rest in peace or in love and memory of William Hurt. That's all I gotta say about that. I think he should have at least got, in loving memory. at the beginning or the end of the film. He was a great actor. He was a phenomenal actor. Yeah, that's all. Other than that, I enjoyed the film. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I would definitely watch this again in theaters in IMAX. Something about it, I just really enjoyed watching it on IMAX. I enjoyed it. I think your kids will enjoy it if you go take them to see it. I will advise you there might be some things that kind of scare them a bit, not too much. With that being said, it's your boy Jergunzza, Captain America: A Brave New World. What you think of it? Are you gonna go see it? Tell me. Let me know. Yeah, peace.